Being defensive. Our love of being right is the best understood as our fear of being wrong. Catherine Schulz, journalist and author, do you constantly justify yourself? Are you offended whenever someone insult or disrespect you? There are very specific reasons why you get defensive. By becoming conscious of these reasons, you will learn a lot about yourself and be able to let go of that desire to defend yourself. First, let's see why you get defensive. Why you get defensive. The need to be defend yourself stems from your desire to protect your story or your ego. Every time your ego is threatened, you are triggered and feel need to defend it. I believe there are three main reasons why you triggered. First, there is a part of truth in what you were told. Second, you believe there is a part of truth in what you were told. And third, a core belief you hold has been attacked. Note that because we all have a different stories. Okay, and what triggers you might not trigger someone else. Point number one, there is a part of truth in what you were told. Someone mentioned something that is true about you and it hurts. For instance, he or she many accuse you procrastinating on the certain project. You, your inability to accept that truth is the reason you become defensive. When that topic is brought up, the triggers emotional reactions such as anger, denial, and self criticism. Second point, you believe there is a part of truth in what you were told. You were told something you believe to be true and feel hurt. In this case, the criticism you receive may be unfounded, yet you still be hurt. You still feel hurt. Why is that? It's because what you were told confirms the disempowering belief you hold about yourself. For instance, let's say you believe you aren't good enough. This belief pushes you to work harder than anybody else. Now, how would you feel if someone accused you of being lazy? You will feel offended, wouldn't you? However, that wouldn't be because you are actually lazy, but because of your belief that you should work harder. Point number three, once of your core belief has been attacked. Someone directly or indirectly attack one of your core belief and you feel the need to defend yourself. This could be religious belief, a political belief, or a more general belief about the world or yourself. The more attached you are to the belief, the stronger your emotional reaction will be. Here is a great example. Because they believed Donald Trump was evil, some liberals had strong emotional reactions after he was elected president. Some shouted and even became violent. On the other hand, many conservatives were delighted by Trump's victory. How come people can react so differently to the same event? This is because of their core belief. Both Democrats and Republicans strongly identify with their political belief, and this led hardcore Democrats to burst into tears and hardcore Republicans to rejoice. Whenever believe you are strongly attached to the attack or challenge your experience and emotional reaction, the deeper the belief is stronger the emotional reactions and will be when it is attacked. An extreme example will be someone ready to kill anybody who dares to criticize his or her religions. How to use these emotions to grow? Look at the situations that triggers you. Whenever you feel offended, ask yourself why. What belief led you to defend yourself? Can you let go of this belief? And is this belief really true? By doing this, you will learn a great deal about yourself. You will be able to let go of belief that aren't serving you well, and you will all realize that in most of cases you don't even need to defend yourself. Action step, refer to the exercise in corresponding sections of the workbook. Sections 4, how to use your emotions to grow. Getting defensive. Whenever you become defensive, remember to ask yourself following questions. What am I trying to protect here? Can I let go of their belief? And What would I be without that belief? Whenever a belief you're strongly attached to an attack or challenges, you will experience an emotional reaction. The deeper the belief is, the stronger the emotional reaction will be when it is attacked. An extreme example would be someone ready to kill anybody who dares to criticize his or her religion. How to use these emotions to grow? Look at the situations that triggers you. Whenever you feel offended, ask yourself why. What belief lead to you to defend yourself? Can you let go this belief? And this is the belief really true? By doing this, you will learn a great deal about yourself. You will able to let go belief that aren't serving you well, and you will realize that in most cases you don't even need to defend yourself. Refer to the exercise in the corresponding sections of the workbook. Sections for how to use your emotions to grow getting defensive. Whenever you become defensive, remember to ask yourself following questions. What I am trying what am I trying to protect here? Can I let go of that belief? What will I be without that belief? Okay, next point is stress and worry. Okay, within every worry is an opportunity for positive actions. In every time there is a kernel of truth behind every neurotic symptoms is the misdirected desire to live fully and well. I repeat, when within every worry is an opportunity for positive actions. In every life lie, and there is a kernel of truth behind every neurotic symptoms is the mind directed. Next lesson is stress and worry. Within every worry is an opportunity for positive actions. In every lie, there is a kernel of truth, and behind every neurotic symptoms is the misdirected desire to live fully and well. David K. Reynolds, Constructive Living. Have you ever wondered what stress is and why you experience it? Most people believe a situation can be stressful. The truth is, a stress doesn't exist outside of yourself, and therefore no situations can be said to be stressful in itself. Yet my guess is you experience stress on regular basis, and probably more often that you would like to. Stress alone is responsible for tens of thousands deaths every year. Stress does more harm than many diseases and leaves countless families grieving the loss of loved one. And this is why it is essential you take active steps towards reducing your stress level. Taking responsibility for your stress. Stress is a something you have some control over and therefore must take responsibility for. The more you take responsibility for it, the better you will able to reduce it. Stress happen for various reasons and manifest in numerous situations. The traffic jam on your way, the work business presentations, tensions with your boss, and frequent disputes with your spouse all constitute potential source of stress. And there are the two ways you can reduce stress: by avoiding situation you perceive as a stressful, and by becoming better and dealing with stressful situations. We will see how you can this method to reduce your stress level. How you can use stress grow. Exercise. Make a list of your your major sources of stress. Let's look at a specific situations that are sources of stress for you using the workbook, and write down the what causes the most stress in your typical week. Come up and with at least 10 things. Reforming stress. Emotions arise as a result of your interpretations of events. The mere fact you experience stress or any other emotions means you have added your own interpretation to what is happening, otherwise you would have stress free life. Now look at your list of stressful situations. For each situation, ask yourself the following questions. Is that situation stressful in itself? What do you I need to believe experience stress in that specific situations? What would I need to believe or reduce or remove stress in that particular situation? Let's say you are stuck in traffic jam and you find it stressful. Is that situation stressful in itself? No, not necessarily, because the traffic jam exists and there is nothing wrong with it per se. And what will I need to believe to experience stress in that specific situations? I will need to believe, okay, and shouldn't be any traffic jams, and therefore something is wrong. The traffic jam is stressful event in itself. I should be where I need to go, and instead of being stuck in traffic, I can do something about that. What would I need to believe to reduce remove stress in that particular situations? I would need to believe that a traffic jam is a normal event like anything else. I don't necessarily have to experience stress just because I am stuck in traffic. I am here caught in traffic jam, and I don't need to be there wherever I want to go for a while. I can't do anything about it, so I might as well enjoy it, or at least don't stress over it. Okay, next point is dealing with worry. Worry differ from stress as it isn't the result from something you experience in the present, but concern you have regarding events from the past, events that may happen in future. You experience stress when you face stressful situations in the present moment. For instance, a stressful situations will be being stuck in traffic jam or having your boss yell at you, and worrying will be remembering past or anticipating imagining this stressful situation future. Interestingly, most of your worries are unnecessarily for the following reasons: they happen in the past and there is absolutely nothing you can do about them, or they may happen in the future and you can't control the future. Exercise: make a list of your worries. Make a list of things you worry about past and future. They may be similar to things wrote in previous exercise. Example things you may worry about are your health, your financial situations, your work, and your relationship and your family. Now write at least 10 things you tend to worry about in typical week. Sorting out your worries. Constant worry result from trying to control events over which you have no control. When you do so, you create unnecessary stress in your life. To deal with stress and overcome chronic worries more effectively, it is essential sorry it is essential you learn to sort out worries. An effective way to do this is to separate the things you have control over from the things you have no control over. You can divide your worries into three separate categories. First, things you have control over. Second, things you have some control over. And things you have no control over what's over. Okay, first point is things you have control over. This category includes things such your actions and behaviors. For instance, you can choose what to say and how to say it. You can also decide what actions you will take to achieve your goals. Second, things you have some control over. There are things you have only limited control over, such as competitions or job interview. You can't be absolutely certain you will win and tennis match, but you do have some control over its outcome. For instance, you can choose the trade harder, higher grade coach. Similarly, you can prepare for a job interview by conducting extensive research about the company you apply to, or by doing mock interview. You don't, however, have absolute control over the outcome of the interview. Third, things you have no control over. Unfortunately, there are also many things you have no control over. These are things such as weather and the economy or traffic jam. Exercise sort of your worries. Look at your least stressful situation. Next to each item, put C control. And SM means some control, NC means no control. This is simple act sorting out your worries already help reduce them. As you identify things you have no control, you can let go of your urge to worry. Now, for things you have some control over, write down what you could do about it. What concrete actions could you take to elevate them? For things you have no control over, can you let go of your you need to control them and instead accept them? Okay, taking 100% responsibility of your stress and worries. ठीक है, what if you had more control over your worries and than you believe? Look at the situations you have no control over and risk yourself. If I had control over them, what will I do? What will it look like, and how could I prevent them from happening? Often you will realize you have some control over this situation. This can be by challenging, reframing, and eliminating them from your life. Let's say you identify traffic jam as something you have no control over. This sounds is reasonable. Once you are caught in the traffic jam, you can't do much about it. But you could sorry, but could you do so think differently? For instance, could you leave home earlier or take different route? Okay, what about reframing the situation? Instead of the escaping the situations mentally, you could choose to be fully percentage present by making traffic jams a productive part of your day. You could then make a most of it by listening audiobooks, and imagine how much you could learn if you listening audiobooks every working day and your entire year. Go over list and book of for things you have no control over. Write down what you could to change and reframe or eliminates these events. Okay, action step refer to the exercise is the corresponding sections of the workbook. Sections for how to use your emotions to grow stress and worry. Next part continue in next video. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel please.